Hey guys, we're going to have a look today at these, the Nike AF1 Highs in flax or wheat, depending on which of the two you want to call it. These came out around about a month ago, about mid-December I think, and they retailed at $84.99, which is not too bad for a limited release, I don't think. The quality of these is pretty much exactly what you would expect from an Air Force One and for a shoe that costs around $84.99. Construction is really solid, they're all suede, which is really nice, sole is really thick, they have a definite kind of sturdiness, a definite rigidity about them, which is pretty cool. The only criticism that I would make of these in terms of their construction is the toe box along here. I think this is the same kind of problem that you get with a lot of Air Force Ones, is that the toe box creases really easily. So I've worn these maybe 8-10 times, something like that, and there is noticeable creasing along the toe box already, so that's something that you definitely have to watch out for, and it's not really something you can avoid unless you go kind of like stamping around with flat feet. So there are a couple of differences between these and the mids. Obviously the rise is slightly different, so the mids don't quite have the same amount going on up here, they're a little bit lower as you might expect between high and mid. The other major difference is the mids have a couple of black checks on them, which these don't have. So the mids have a Nike check about here, and they have one across the strap as well, whereas the highs don't have that. The other major difference is the strap itself is actually quite different between the mid and the high. This is a very thin material strap. So as a result, if you undo the strap, it does just kind of hang down and flop about like this, whereas the mid tends to keep its structure and it just sort of sits like this if you have it undone. So I think that's partly the reason why a lot of people seem to be preferring the mids to the highs, because of that strap, because it's quite difficult to wear these with the strap undone. And with the mids, generally they are worn with the strap undone because they look pretty cool. However, I do personally prefer the highs to the mids. I think the lack of the black checks on the highs makes them look much nicer because they are totally all over flax or wheat coloured. The only black branding is the Nike logo on the back, and of course the label on the front as well, which you can see there. So these are a much more uniform colour. And I think that makes quite a lot of difference actually in terms of the look of them, as well as I do actually prefer them being a higher shoe as opposed to the mid. I think it makes them look a little bit less chunky because there's a bit of height coming up here as well, whereas with the mids, yeah, they have a sort of chunky look, which I'm not really much of a fan of. One word of warning with these, and probably with any light coloured suede shoe to be honest, be careful what kind of jeans you wear with these. I wore raw denim a little bit with these, and I don't know if you can see, but along the top here there is some quite noticeable staining. So yeah, definitely something to be careful of. In terms of fit, these are a little bit on the roomy side, but I wouldn't say enough that you should go half a size down on these. I bought these true to size, so I'm normally size 11, I bought these in an 11. And they fit pretty well, especially around the mid and the top area. The toe box is a little bit on the roomy side, but to be honest, with a shoe like this, that's pretty much okay. You don't really want them to be kind of snug, because then you get sweaty high top feet, and no one really likes that. In my opinion, there are two main ways to lace up the Air Force One High. The first of the two I'm showing off now. So you have the strap done up, which covers the laces. That keeps them nice and tight, nice and clean looking. This is generally the way that I would wear these when I'm wearing them in a slightly more formal occasion, like if I wear them to work, for example. The second of the two ways helps to alleviate some of the problems that people find with the strap on the Air Force One High. So this way I tuck the strap under one of the laces and then I do it up again, which gives the impression of the strap being undone when actually it's still attached to something. So it still has that kind of undone, slightly sloppy look, but without having the strap trail along the ground. I think the best thing about these is that they look quite distinctive without being too in your face. They're not too garish just because they are quite a muted colour. But they're quite unique in terms of their colouring. You don't see that many shoes with this colour around apart from Timberlands. So that combination of them being trainers, of being high top Air Force Ones, and the flax colour, I think is pretty cool and makes them interesting. Thanks for watching this quick look at the Nike Air Force One Flax High. Let me know what you think about them. Do you prefer these to the mids, or are you more of a mid fan? Or maybe you hate them both, who knows? But yeah, if you've got any thoughts, do leave them in the comments. And hey, maybe if you enjoyed watching this video, you should send me a like as well. Cheers, see you later.